I don't know if you guys remember. George was an ex-Marine, so the little training camp. My first training camp was like a Marine training camp. It was like going to boot camp. A lot of things that we did were Marine based, if you may say. Just a great motivator. And then when I actually went in the league in '85, he left Kutztown here and went to the Patriots. So he was with the Patriots organization for a while. So I used to see him every year when we played the Patriots up in Foxborough. So just a very stout kind of coach. And as an ex-Marine, that's what you're going to get that. And the staff is just outstanding. Gino Calcagni was really a kind of the first offensive coordinator that I became in contact with that, to a certain point, I really felt comfortable with him. And, coming from high school, I was a quarterback in high school, and he was the one that switched me to wide receiver. And, to this day, I'd say that was the most important move I've ever made in my life. As you can, yeah. So, who knows what would have happened if I would have, played quarterback anywhere. But I think they saw some talents in me that could be used in other ways. So, yeah, it was good though, of course.
So I understand you spoke with the team this week. Can you just let us know what you kind of told them and talked to them about?
Yeah, I just, I spoke to them yesterday for about 15, 20 minutes and, just spoke about my days of coming out of there and onto the field and running on the field just like them, and 30 years ago. And, they had a tough loss last week, and, they're playing another top team today in D2. So I just told them basically, sports has a way of humbling you and has a way of giving you another chance. And I think, I just said, you guys have another chance to redeem yourself from last week. You win this game, you forget about what happened last week. So, and we just talked, man. I mean, we really talked like I was a player to them, and it was nice to see a lot of smiles on their faces. I showed them my ring, and basically they took it from me, and I was looking for it for a while. And it's like, if any of you guys run away with this, I'll catch you. But it was very humbling to me to be there and kind of share some stories with them about my playing days here, and to tell them that it's possible that you can do the same thing I did. Just hard work and what dedication means to what you want to do in life. And hey, a lot of those kids may not even get a chance to play in the league, but they can be good individuals and good people, and that's probably the most important thing. Is that their time here at the school is it's going to prepare them for after whatever they do in life. So. Yeah.
When you consider this year as a whole, getting into the Hall of Fame, what does Kutztown mean to you, and what does this particular honor of having the field and the stadium mean?
I always thought my life was in, 4 quarters. To me, I kind of put it with a football game. You're little and you play Pop Warner, then you go to junior high school, and then you go to high school, and you go to college, and then afterwards is, whatever happens. Kutztown was the 3rd quarter for me. And, what it means to me to have a field dedicated to me. 30 years ago, I never would have thought that this would happen. I said this yesterday. I said, I could sit in a rainstorm just out there in a rainstorm, and I'd probably get hit by lightning. And compared to this happening. So this year has just been a whirlwind of a lot of great things that happened to me this year, and I share it with all my family and friends. There's no doubt about it, this jacket and this ring and my bus in Canton wouldn't be possible without everybody else. And I had a lot of people pat me on the back and hit me on the top of the head too. And I think that kept me humble about what I wanted to do.
Andre, what did it mean to you? I really have always kind of compared your situation with a guy I always really respected, Harry Carson. Why isn't this man in the Hall of Fame? And yet there was a really groundswell of support from
Yeah.
time people, from both of you guys. I mean, it was
Yeah.
so interesting. What, you know, you didn't get in, but was it meaningful that there were the whoever out there, NFL Network guys and people saying, why isn't this guy here?
Well, you know, the thing about the Hall of Fame, it's such a it's a process, and people outside of it, after about 2 or 3 years, I realized the process of what goes on. And speaking to other guys, you know, like Harry Carson, and you know, some of these guys, actually this year, Claude Humphrey, the guy winning me, Ray Guy, they waited 28 and 23 years respectively. I mean, that's ridiculous, really. And you know, it was 9 years for me, but I think you get the sense from your peers of it's what your peers say to you. That's probably the most important thing to me. The guys I either played against or the guys that watch me. For every year that went on, they'd say the same thing every year. You know, your time's coming. You know, it's going to be this year, or just be patient, all that kind of stuff. And of course, I was patient, but you know, my family members weren't patient. They were they were a little mad. And I knew the process, and I figured if it was going to happen, it was going to happen on somebody else's time, not mine. And I knew when it did in February that, you know, the whole roof was going to get blown off around here, and it was a lot of relief, because every year it was the same thing. Every year I got you go on with life and you kind of not think about it, but every year around Hall of Fame time, that's what you get, and it was becoming a broken record, if you may say. So. You know, to get the support from other Hall of Famers and my teammates, that really helped out a lot.
Did a lot of the guys reach out to you, the guys I would have covered when you were playing and all? Did you stay in touch with them all?
Oh yeah, definitely, all the time, yeah. And it's something the other about 3 or 4 months ago, I was doing a little card signing in Virginia, and I get out of the car, and I see Jack Ham and Mean Joe Green, and they saw me, and I just waved at them, and they looked at me. They said, "Come here." I was like, and these guys hugged me like I was their brother, and I just was like, okay, that's all I needed right there, because they were my, you know, Steelers were my team, and those were my idols. You know, I loved the Steelers, and for those guys to embrace me in that way, because we're all gold jacket wearers. Can't beat it, man. Cannot beat that feeling. Oh, the Bruce Harper's here. The best athlete Kutztown ever had. He's the second best athlete. Yeah. Funny story with me and Bruce. I see Bruce every year. I see Bruce every year at Joe Namath's tournament every September, and you know, up there it's New York Jets and Giants and Islanders, all that. So when they introduced Bruce, he always says to, who was it, Greg Buttle, right? Greg Buttle. He goes, yes, Andre Reed is the second best athlete that ever went to Kutztown. He says it every year. See, that guy right there started it for me. You talking about a great football player? That guy right there.
I give it up to you. You're the man.
No.
Best athlete ever to come out of Kutztown.
I know there must have been some point trying to fill space for the Eagles, and I would have asked you this, but
Oh, no.
when did you have your first thoughts that, hey, maybe I could play pro football? And did one of the coaches tell you, or when did you?
Probably my freshman year here. They were, it was the off season. It was after my freshman year. And I had a pretty good year as a freshman. I played a lot. And Coach Baldwin calls me to the athletic office. He says, I got somebody who wants to talk to you. I was like, oh man, who wants to talk to me? So there was a Seattle Seahawks scout that was scouting Bernie Notarski at the time. And he was watching film on Bernie, and actually Coach Baldwin threw some film of me in there of the past year, and he was watching film on me. And he introduced himself, and I introduced myself, and he says, I know you're a freshman. He goes, but we're going to be watching you the next 3 years. And I said, "You're gonna be watching me?" I said, "Okay." And I kind of left, and I was like, "Wow." I was just like going crazy. Yeah, I was. And that kind of was not. I wouldn't say that was the time. It kind of just told me that there's a possibility now that there's a bunch of people are going to watch me the next couple of years. So that was a pretty nice moment. It was pretty nice.
Any more questions?
More questions? Keith probably got one.
Come on up here, Keith. He's got a lot.
You got a lot?
How's it feel to be back?
Just like you, man. Just sitting down, having fun. Yeah, it's always good to be back home and where you kind of laid some groundwork and people respect you and you get the same kind of overwhelming greeting every time. That's a good feeling.
I understand you got to meet with the football team.
Yeah, yesterday.
Last night, was that kind of...
It was nice. It was really nice because all those kids weren't born when I was playing here. So, and I was telling him, it just, I just talk like one of their teammates. I said, hey, I'm nothing special. I said I was on this field just like you. Football's always going to be football no matter what. And I kind of spoke from their perspective of things, and I'm just as ordinary as they are. So, except when I wear this jacket, I feel a little different when I wear this jacket.
At least when you played, it was color film, not black and white like the Bruce played.
No, it was black and white. Oh yeah, it was reel to reel back then. Yeah, sometimes that thing would go and it'd get stuck, and sorry. They'd have to cut it and splice it and all that stuff. So, it isn't as high tech as it is today, definitely. So.
Did the kids interact with you? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I saw some tweets. One from a white-on kid named James. I mean,
Yeah. They we took a lot of selfies with them, and they posted a good one. It was actually the best one I've ever saw. Yeah, seen. It was a great selfie. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun just interacting with them, and the coaches really kind of let them be themselves and just be loose and all that kind of stuff. It was good to be in that atmosphere. Yeah. Oh, man.
How was it also last night, since I wasn't here, to receive that PSAC Merit of Honor Award, which is one of the biggest awards that
Yeah. I mean, I saw there was 5 awards there, and I sat there like I was Santa Claus, just picking up awards. I mean, I can't say enough for the university and what they, the trustees and the president and the board of trustees, the foundation, the Kutztown University Foundation, and they put that together really well. I was overwhelmed with everything. I got a little teary-eyed, and I didn't get like teary-eyed in Canton, but they had bets on me in Canton that I'd cry, but I didn't. So I got a little teary-eyed because it really means a lot, because it's your home. It's your home. It's where you know where you're from, and to get those kind of awards in front of your people, man, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
The campus has changed. Did you get to tour the campus a lot? Because it's changed so much since you and I were here.
Yeah. I actually went down to Bonner Hall it's like, yeah, that was my room right there. I used to put a speaker in the window when kids would come down to the dining hall. I'd be blasting music out there, and they would dance all the way to the dining hall. So that was fun.
Any memories of your father coming out here to watch you play? Because he did, obviously.
What's that again?
Your father coming, and your whole family, but especially your father, who's no longer with us, obviously.
Yeah.
Coming out to see you play out here.
My dad didn't miss too many games. all the way from Pop Warner to the pros. He was there almost every one of them. And I think, Canton was a little tough thinking about that. Because I could just see my dad sitting there. He'd be bleaming. That'd be pretty. It was pretty tough, but I got through it. And I didn't think I could. Real tough. Yep.
He had some interesting situations here because you had one of your brothers played for Ship, another brother played for Millersville.
Yeah.
Some
There
of
was
these games out here. He probably had to spend.
Yeah, he was back and forth. I mean, my mom was back and forth too. So that was probably a lot of families go through that probably. So, but it's it was good that my brothers played in the PSAC too. And it's such a great league for football. I mean, a lot of kids, and I said to the kids yesterday, I said, there's a lot of D2 kids that are playing on NFL rosters right now, and they're impact players. And I said, back when I came out of the league, it was, can you play at the big time? Here now, it's they don't think that way anymore. I think if you can play football, it doesn't matter where you go. You could play. Shut up, man.
Can you give us an idea of how hard your brother hit you back in college?
Next question. Oh, you know what? I got a tweet the other day. Somebody said that his dad played against me he went to East Stroudsburg, and there was this long tweet, and he said, well, he lined up against you, and he was about 20 yards off you, and you still ran past him. I said, well, I did that to a lot of people. So.
Do you remember how good was the team when you played here? I mean, it was kind of like middle of the pack.
Yeah, it's mediocre. Yeah, I mean, at the time I was a freshman. Greg Gristick, I don't know if anybody remember Greg Gristick, was a great quarterback here. He was an All-American. Excuse me. And Gary Klein was a junior at the time. So I had two pretty good quarterbacks for 2 years. And again, I lined up everywhere. So just to try to get me the ball, they lined me up everywhere. Good football, though. Yeah. Any more questions? Jimmy? Huh? What? On the treadmill, baby.
All right, if there are no further questions, we just wanted to remind the media that the ceremony will begin at approximately 1 o'clock. So see Brian Salvador, our Sports Information Director. The media will be permitted down on the field with their cameras. Even those who are in the press box can go down. You'll still have time to get back up. If any of you need to talk to Kutztown University administrators between now and the game, let me know or let Brian know, someone from my staff, and we will find either members of the Council of Trustees or the President, Athletic Director, whoever you'd like to talk to. But thanks so much for coming. Thank you to Andre. He's been a great guest of honor, and we look forward to the unveiling at 1 o'clock.
Gotcha.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
Yep.
Yay.